The following is a transcript of a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am. Me. Summarizing what I said to see if I understood it. Yesterday, you referred to love as food. In other words, if love is the eternal energy that nourishes all of existence, then falling in love is seeking that energy to nourish oneself, which turns the universe into a kind of digestive system that seeks energy to make the organism grow. Love is understood then as a divine food, which gives life, strength, that expands, drives evolution and the development of the being. And you said that cultures have manifested this until today in a very human way. Always we associate food with love. A mother's first love is breastfeeding. The love of a family is shared by sitting down to eat. When you want to make your friends feel good, you invite them to eat. When you welcome a foreigner, the first thing you do is show him the typical food to make him feel at home. The first thing you do on a romantic date is invite them to dinner or buy something sweet. We relate fullness to the phrase, full belly, happy heart. Being filled with both food and love is what makes us feel whole and complete. For this reason, the universe is projected to seek that love that makes us feel complete, united by the nourishing energy of love. You said that there are two paths when you have managed to fill your being, one of transcendence, in which you need to free yourself from others that hold you back and decide to fall in love with something new to continue advancing, and the other of unconditional love, in which you simply transform your way of relating without conditions, recognizing that it is not the other that slows you down, but that it is you yourself who are looking for new forms. Now then, why is it so difficult to be able to nurture oneself in unconditional love, and we continue to fall in love with the crisis, the rupture, the conflict to continue advancing? I am. Tell me, did you eat yesterday? Me. I do. I am. And do you plan to eat again today? Me. I guess so. I am. And tomorrow? Me. Sure. I am. Why? Me. Because if not, I die. I am. Sure? Aren't you conditioned on food? Me. Well, my body needs nutrients, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and things that I can't produce on my own. I can go a month without eating by drinking water and juices and having prepared much earlier, but no more. The muscles would stop having energy, atrophy, lose elasticity in the cartilage, hurt my joints, and the glands would begin to fail, ceasing to produce hormones and destroying the central nervous system. I am. So you are conditioned. Your love is conditional because your body has put conditions. Without food, you don't live, and it must be varied, because you can't just eat the same thing every time. You need variety. No? Me. Sure, not all foods have everything I need. A varied diet is important. I am. Then you are not only conditioned to eat, but to eat variedly, because you need a little of everything. Me. Yes, at least for now, it's part of the process of living. I am. That's where I wanted to go. It is part of the process of living. Do you know what is the strangest thing about humans from the point of view of other dimensions? Me. What? I am. The rush you have for everything. The first bacteria that inhabited the earth date from about 3.5 billion years ago. That is to say that about 4 billion years have passed since the first chemical reactions that originated life on this planet. But you want to find enlightenment in just a few years of meditation and courses of healing therapies, pineal activation, kundalini yoga, quantum field, and many other weekend courses. Me. It seems contemptuous. I am. It's not. It's an objective look. When you humans awaken to another reality, you believe that the change and illumination will result in the transfiguration of your being into a heavenly being in the same life, believing that this 2026 may achieve it. 4 billion years for a bacterium to have been a human sitting staring at this computer screen, reading about himself in a conscious spiritual intellect. The key word of all this that we are talking about is the word process. This concept comes from Latin and is divided into two words, pro, which means forward, and ses, which comes from sedere, meaning to walk. Walking forward is proceeding. The action of making something move forward is called processing. We just talked about food. What does it sound like to you? Me. Process food. I am. The path of processing food begins in the process of chewing. There, the teeth grind food. The teeth are an extension of the body's information channels. 32 teeth, including incisors, canines, premolars, and molars, which will assimilate the information of what is chewed, activating the memories of the family and the ancestors who eat through you. The tongue will process if what is ingested is useful or not through the taste buds. There, the chewed and salivated food is swallowed into the stomach through the esophagus. Once in the stomach, the acids will begin to destroy what is ingested until breaking it down into thousands of small fragments, dissolved by the components of the gallbladder, the part that is most difficult to gnaw, being processed by the liver. And that is where the great process begins, the longest stage of digestion. Digestion comes from the Latin word die, which means to separate, divide, split in two, and the word gerere, which means to carry out, to do something in particular, to administer, to manage, the separate parts. This long path is made through the 9 meters of the small intestine, which through its small hairs will absorb all the nutrients extracted from the food by the stomach acids, taking them to the blood where they will be distributed throughout the body to be captured by the insulin and other hormones and proteins capable of fragmenting these molecular components at the atomic level to create the chemical reaction in which energy is generated for the cell in hydrolysis, releasing water into the system, reserving the rest in the form of lipids. Once this is done, a beautiful tour, the food process, I am. This whole journey through your body takes the same amount of time as you should sleep, between 6 and 8 hours. In other words, while your pineal needs to rest 8 hours each night to regenerate the vitality and internal cellular energy of your body, the digestive system needs another 8 hours during the day to carry out the process of assimilating external energy. We would spend it sleeping. I am. You just understood something very important. The process of awakening and sleeping of consciousness. Just as the physical system uses about 14 or 16 hours of the day to process information, during which it needs you to be calm and resting, not counting the need for the other 7 or 9 hours of activity that complete the 24-hour day, so does the spiritual or mental system live its processes of digestion of the being and the energy of love. The more we consume from the outside world, the more time we will be digesting, the more sleepy we will be, the less aware of the environment we will be, and therefore we will live in unconsciousness, in the dream of reality. But if you eat at the right times, sleeping just enough and necessary, then you can wake up with strength and vitality to make the most of the hours of activity. Are you telling me that what we call the awakening of consciousness is a process similar to that of digestion? I am. Not only is it similar, but it is the digestion of the being. That said, the more you consume from the external world, seeking to nourish yourself from others, and a world that imperatively tells you, eat, buy, feel, be, and so many others, you turn to consume everything that others have to give you and devour the world without being hungry. That is the gluttony they were talking about, one of the 7 deadly sins. It is not eating a lot at a feast. It is swallowing everything you find in the world without giving the digestive system moments of rest, making it work constantly. What you call soul processes, personal processes, or those phrases that you use to say, I am in a difficult process, you will understand it is your process or awakening process. Every time you say process, you are referring to the fact that you are food in the digestive system of life. And life, humanity, society, will be asleep and tired, while all its humans are processing things that they cannot finish assimilating because they consume incessantly. And one does not only consume capitalistically by buying in shopping malls or online, one also consumes emotions, relationships, situations, spirituality, philosophy, information. So, going back to what you told me at the beginning, this is a long process because I need to eat every day and different things to be able to nourish myself. It is an eternal process. Until the day I die, I will continue to be conditioned by this biological process. So how do I get out of this? I already told you. What is your hurry? Where do you want to go so fast? Remember, 4 billion years. Before you even think about getting out of the system, you should start asking yourself why you are in it. Many times you see the universe in the same way that you see a fantastic movie. You are in the cinema, sitting down, wanting to be the protagonists of such an adventure, whether science fiction or romance, but then you return to your lives, and in your mind, the idyllic projection of an unreal world continues, but instead of turning your life into that idea, you relegate yourself to daydreaming, to continue consuming the same. You want to escape, but you do nothing for it. Denying what is there and seeking to escape what you want will not solve any drama in your life. You must pass the process. You must understand what it was that you ate in your life that you are still trying to digest. What you ate is what is giving you strength or indigestion. This intestinal pain that you have did not appear by itself. It has an origin, and it is what you put in your mouth. Don't blame the liver if it hurts. Ask yourself about the alcohol you drank last night. Do not blame the small intestine for not being able to process and giving you diarrhea. Ask yourself what unnecessary things and lack of protein, minerals, and vitamins you have eaten. It is easy to expect to reach the end of the process by judging the environment without accepting what I have ingested to find myself like this. Me. Makes sense. I am. After the assimilation and analysis of your process, you will be able to identify which of all the foods in your life are harming you. And then you can start the fast. Fasting is the process of becoming aware, to let the intestine, the entire digestive system, rest, purging it of all toxins with water and minerals. Me. How is this understood on a human level, not just a physical one? I mean, are you talking about circumstances or literal food? I am. Both. Analyze. What do you eat on a daily basis? How do you eat it? Fast? Slow? Do you give yourself time to digest, or do you exhaust the body while it digests? What are your physical problems, your most present illnesses today? And once you have asked yourself these questions and written down the answers, ask yourself, what are the things, situations, or people that I cannot digest well in my life? Why did I consume them at that time? What do they cause in my current life? In what process of digestion am I in my life? Me. Perfect. I understand. I am part of a constant process, and I can't get out of it until I take responsibility for what I ate, how I feel, the process I'm in, and take care to eat better, choose better what I consume, and respect the digestion times of life and the intestines. Only then can I start to wake up properly by respecting the cycles of my biorhythm, and only if I will be able to fast and awaken the sacred food within me to be awake for a longer amount of time. I am, until one day your cells, just as trees do today, can feed on light and illuminate. But maybe this will take another 4 billion years. So, remember, for the universe there is no rush. When you digest, it is best to take a nap. Me, and I will. I am. The more you rest and respect the biorhythms, the less you need to stay asleep in unconsciousness, and the longer you will stay awake in consciousness. The more you hurry, the faster you'll eat, the harder your digestion will be, and the more exhausted you'll find yourself slipping back into the jaws of unconsciousness. Me. Process. Move forward walking. I am. Step by step.
My heart's